Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a new week, y'all. How y'all doing? What's up to everyone? Um, Happy Monday. Yeah, happy Monday. As you can see, I'm lounging around for a little while until about noon. Then I'll get myself together. I feel like I can do that now. I can rest when I feel like it. So yeah. I know I came to y'all on was it Saturday? Yeah. Letting y'all know that I have new content coming this week, and it'll be the first time in a while that I'm actually gonna have a week full of topics and stuff. Put a week full of videos out. But yeah. I hope y'all had a great weekend. Hope everyone was doing well. My weekend was pretty good. Our kids came to visit on Saturday, and they were so happy with the apartment. They went in their room like they were ecstatic. So that went over well. But anyway, we about to get into the topic for today. Today's topic is just simply put accountability. Accountability. This one is probably going to be the most powerful one that video that I'm gonna put out, because it's basically getting down deep and raw with me and with the circumstances leading up to what's going on nowadays and things like that. And it's just a just letting y'all know what's really been going on in terms of, the situation that I'm now currently in and things like that. And I feel like maybe it will help someone else along the line, later on down the line, if they're facing the same problem, or even not the same exact problem, but something similar, or that's facing struggles. So to let them know that you're not alone, and we all have our moments, and the best thing we can do from those moments is to learn from them and move on. So accountability, basically, you take your power back when you hold yourself accountable, and you see things from another perspective. You're like, okay, wow, yeah, okay, I did do that. I was a little crazy. I did say that. I did act out of pocket, and stuff like that. And just to, lay things raw and be as real as I possibly can. Like, I guess leading up to what we've been going through, I had to face some very ugly truths about myself. And I just wanted to share that. And I've always knew that I was going to end up telling my story, but I didn't know when. But God said that it's time. It's time. Like, basically, I've been doing the work. I've been being faithful. I've been, putting my time in and doing the things I need to better myself. So I'm just going, go ahead and share my journey. Okay. So, let's just start off by saying that I've always enjoyed drinking. And I'm talking about alcohol. I've always enjoyed drinking, and I've always liked to have a good time. I've always, if it's a bottle being popped, I'm there. We had house parties all the time. We drank a lot, and our friends drank a lot, and, just like having a good time. But I also noticed that I can tend to drink too much, drink in excess. And, it was starting to get out of hand. And, okay. I found myself starting to use alcohol as a way to deal with a lot of things. Relationship issues, stress, feeling overwhelmed as a mother and a wife, and, family issues as far as like family members or, friendships and things like that. I started drinking a lot. I drank all the time. We used to party all the time, basically, is what I'm saying, for a very long time. Hard liquor, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it, it was always been a part of my life. And you would think that because I grew up watching what it did in my household when I was young, that I would run away from it. But a part of me always wanted to experience that feeling that my parents experienced when they had, dealt with their issues. So I'm like, okay, when I get grown, I'm going to control my drinking. They ain't know I'm going, I'm not going to be like that. I know I can always stop. I know I can always control myself and things. And, okay, at first, yeah. But then when you around other people that want to party and stuff as much as you do, you start drinking more and more. Partying, having get-togethers every freaking weekend, and sometimes in the middle of the week. It started getting out of hand. Anytime you wake up and you start using alcohol as an excuse, like if you're bored, you want to drink. If you're lonely, you want to drink. If you have friends come over, you want to drink. If you don't want to deal with coworkers, and yes, I did that as recent as last year. I was working at the hospital, and I would go to work tipsy, or I would drink before I knew my shift would start. and drink to the point where I couldn't make it into work and I was calling out because I couldn't make it. I would go, when I did show up to work tipsy, of course it affected my, you know, my skills and whatever, but that's as far it's just a mess. So basically, it went from just socially to being a necessity, and then feeling like it was an achievement. Okay, I'm bored, so I'm gonna drink. Then it turned to, I'm sad, so I'm gonna drink. Then it turned to, okay, I woke up this morning, I'm gonna drink. And I don't know if anyone out there that when you listen to this video, if y'all are faced with that, or you face that and y'all know what I'm talking about, or even if it's not something as far as drinking, it could be pills, which I used to have a problem with that about 10 or so years ago, 10, 12 years ago. But drinking was the comfort zone. Drinking made me social. Drinking made me come out my face when there's things that I've kept in. You know, drinking was my escape. And it wasn't the point where I was a falling down drunk, you know, everywhere I go. But I do know that it had caused a lot of destruction, and it had caused enough damage in my home life to where now DHS had stepped in, and my kids are not with us right now. And it took a long time for me to get to that point where I had to admit that I had a problem. Because at first I was just, you know, focused on my husband and his part. But sometimes you have to let God reveal those ugly parts of yourself to you. And you have to be faced with the reality is like, okay, I contributed to that as well. And it sucks and it hurts, but it also freed me because now I'm so much better because I don't like DHS. Let me get I don't like DHS. I don't like people calling DHS on other people. I think that is crazy, except for extreme cases. The thing that was called on DHS is the fact that we didn't have a stable home. We didn't have a place to live. And that is what, when they decided to, you know, step in and remove our 3 youngest kids out of our custody, and they're in the foster care. But all 3 of them are together, and they are with people that we do know. You know, the foster parents met Randy first when I was in New Jersey. But, you know, it hurts. And I've already replayed in my mind, you know, I've already beat myself up about it. I've already, you know, felt the guilt and the shame. I had told my parents, this stays between us. I don't want no one to know. Only very few people knew what was going on, and it was people that I trusted with the information. Very few people knew, because I didn't want the shame or whatever, or the guilt. I already had enough guilt, so I didn't need no extra. I already was, people already had came at me. Family members I had already came at me that knew about, why this, why that. And, I just didn't want any extra. I was already feeling bad enough on my own, so I didn't want anything extra added. But, being that they're in DHS custody now, we have to go to court. We have to do all these things to get to the point of reunification with the kids, and visits with them, and it's a process. It's a process. I have went to family therapy. I've went to group for relapse prevention. I have went to I've been going to doing my counseling, my individual counseling. I've been doing all of that. Not to mention, I have to do UAs to like 2-3 times a week. Do UAs so that they could see that I don't have alcohol in my system. There have been a couple of false positives, but the challenge has came up negative, so now they see that I haven't touched a drop of alcohol. And I have not touched a drop of alcohol since May 5th. And heck yeah, I'm proud of myself. And heck yeah, I do think about it all the time. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not something that's cured overnight. But I know in the long run, I'm better without it. And I am so clear-headed, and number one, I can save money. That's one of the best things that has been going on. I could save money because I'm not figuring alcohol into my budget. So that's a plus. Number two, I'm so clear-headed and able to see what stuff I need to work on, and it also makes me feel like I also too, when I see other people that have been drinking and stuff, and I see how they act, and I always ask myself, damn, was I like that? Because there are things that our kids witness that they shouldn't have had to witness. And arguments between me and their father, or other people, or people falling down drunk or playing music all night and stuff till everybody get tired and pass out. It's time to break that generational curse. And it starts with me. And the fact that we were homeless for nearly 2 years. 2 years, y'all. Between staying in the shelter and staying in little motel rooms or whatever. And at times, staying on the street. the actual street. I've slept outside a few times. There were times when there wasn't any room at the Salvation Army, and I had to sleep outside. December 25th of 2020, which was Christmas, we slept outside. Not our kids, but us. So for me to be chilling in this apartment right now, it's been a long time coming, and I deserve it. I deserve it. You know, we went from being outside to being in the dorm with other people to being into just the room for us to being in an apartment. That's God. That is God. That is truly God. See, Randy was in this program before, and you only supposed to be on there one time. But God is an awesome God, because we're in this program now here at the Salvation Army, but it's our own apartment. And I don't care if it sounds like I'm slumming. You have no idea what it was like to be out on these streets unless you actually were out on the streets and you know what I'm talking about. So for me to say slumming, this is a second chance. This is a new beginning. I had always wanted to live downtown because I didn't want to move back out north where all the mishaps were happening. And I'm actually living downtown. I actually can see the sun rise every morning. And I actually can say that everything that I asked God for, He has answered every last prayer of mine. Some spoken and some unspoken. And it's just awesome, man. But it's just truly awesome. You take your power back when you hold yourself accountable, because people like to spin the narrative about other people's lives, but you take that power away from them when you can own up to your mistakes and be like, yeah, I did it. I see where I went wrong. I'm willing to correct the mistakes, and now I move on. It don't get no better than that. And so much peace comes from that too. So much peace comes from that. But I just letting y'all know where I'm at in my journey. Like I told you, I have testimonies upon testimonies, and I'm grateful for each and every last one of them. Now, I enjoy looking at people on Facebook go on vacations and do this and do that. I'm cool with it. I'm happy for everyone. It's not my vacation season yet, but it's coming. And I ain't even tripping about when it's gonna come. It's coming. Right now, I'm in that foundation stage. My stability is being set up again. So, I could go on and on and on, but it's just so awesome to like be able to share the story, share my journey with you all. And even if I could reach just one, that's enough for me. You don't have to continue to, go down that path that you know is not right for you. And it took a while. It did. It took a while. I just honestly thought that I did not have a problem, that I could control it at any time. But I knew it was coming to a head when I was going to work drunk last year. Wasn't cool at all. And I don't even want this stuff no more. And I could joke around about it and be like, well, I want it. Like, I do think about it. I do. But not to the point where I want to go to the store and give me something to drink. No. Not happening. I've come way too far. Like, this is my phoenix rising from the ashes. So I'm not going to jeopardize that. And you probably wondering why I chose, like, why I'm not in a real apartment. I'm doing things the smart way this time. I could go out and get a real apartment and fuck it all up. Excuse my language. But fuck it all up within the next month. Because I'm so happy to have an apartment, and then I start going back around the same kind of people and start doing the same old thing again. I'm not doing that. My kids mean too much for me. And I admit, the reason why I started this journey as far as doing the family treatment court and stuff like that, it was for my kids at first. But now it's for me. This is for me. I don't want to go backwards. And I don't want to be put in no area or no situation that's going to have me go backwards. I don't want to face those temptations. And I see temptations everywhere I go every day. And it's nothing for me to go and stop at a store and get something to drink. But I choose not to. Like, my whole mindset is so different now. So hold yourself accountable. It's not always the other person. And it's not always that situation. Sometimes it's just you. It's just you. You may be the problem. Hold yourself accountable. It'll free you in so many ways. And basically that's all I have to say. I know it may be a little bit heavy for a Monday morning, but it was laid on my heart to finally share my testimony about what's really going on. And if you feel like, oh well, I didn't know she was like that, I don't know. No, you wasn't supposed to know until I told you. So there you have it. But if I could give you some encouragement today, just hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Just want to say I love you all. My subscribers, I thank you all for rocking out with me. Like, share, comment if you want to. I love you all. To my support team back home, mom and dad, I love y'all. My children, of course, that was my lifeline. My husband, you know, and very special shout out to my big sis Danina and my bestie Tamika Boyd, because they were the only other two besides my parents that knew what was going on. And I never heard anything in this past year and a half, had heard anything come out about them mentioning anything about my situation. So I love them so much. But I'm about to get off of here now because I think my camera is about to stop. But yeah, so I promise it won't be so heavy tomorrow. But I love y'all. Y'all stay good. Start off your work week with gratitude. Hold yourself accountable. Watch what'll happen in the end. I'll see y'all soon, tomorrow. Until then, take care and God bless.